Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. That's our buddy Kira right there. Ain't that right? And this here is Full Metal. We call him Full Metal Jacket. Ain't that right, buddy? Hang on now. Easy. Anyhow, old Full Metal there, he's our buddy. He is what we have to breed here. He is the breeder goat. He's 2 years old, just a little over 2 years old. He's like 2 years and 3 months, I think. Anyhow, we also have a female here, and she's pregnant. We have confirmed that she is pregnant. So we want to talk about all the things that you guys want to look for in a pregnant goat. So let's do it. Pow. All right, guys, so it's been super rainy and nasty here. We've had 2 good days that have dried up and everything. They're looking really good. The ground's looking really good compared to what it was looking like in here. Doesn't matter how much you clean it up. When there's a lot of rain and a lot of snow and stuff and you got animals with hooves, they tend to tear up the ground. And that's why there's a lot of rocks in here to help keep their hooves trimmed up some, as well as keep them up out of the mud, all right, as best as we can. So we stacked up a lot of rocks in here and stuff. So anyhow, talking about, hey, what are you doing, knucklehead? That rope ain't going nowhere. Silly butt. You little silly butt. Anyhow, so a couple obvious things we want to look at here. Let's get down here where we can see that that's not an udder. That's an udder. Do you see those 2 things hanging off the back there? That's an udder with 2 nipples. All right, she is bagged up. You see how she's swelled up real big there? All right, that tells us that she is getting ready to give birth here pretty soon. All right, we squeezed on her nipples there yesterday, and milk did come out. Had me a little bit concerned. And so we started doing some research, and we didn't find a whole lot on this topic, so we wanted to kind of elaborate some. So they can go and start producing milk and bagging up 2 weeks before, and they can produce milk 2 weeks before that they actually give birth, all right? And so we thought that was very interesting, so we wanted to talk about that. So that's one of the things, like I say, first and foremost, they can have milk 2 weeks before, and they can bag up 2 weeks before time to give birth, all right? Now, a couple of the other things that you're going to notice here is as she gets closer to the date. By our guesstimation, from when we believe she got pregnant, because we never seen the official act. We know he was mounting her, and we know he was trying, but we never seen the official act and him getting it done. Hang on one second. Okay, so like we were talking, you guys can see squirrel sit, squirrel sit. Hang on a minute, they're uneasy because of the puppy. Squirrel, sit down, sit. It's okay, y'all. Ain't nobody, she don't want y'all. Trust me, she don't want y'all. Nobody wants you guys. Just me, that's all. There's my buddy, ain't you? Good job. He turned her for me. All right. Oh, great. They're both looking at me. Good. Okay. Y'all guys can see here. Okay. So where were we at? Not an udder, and this is an udder. Okay. All right. And so, like I say, as they get closer and closer, you'll see their bag. Now, this is her first time, okay? And you can see that her girl parts are getting bigger. All right, they're becoming much more enlarged, I guess you could call it. The udder is starting to really fill up. Oh man, I shouldn't have touched her. Tag on it. And so, look, honey. Just would you give me a good shot here? Come on. All right, so you see the girl parts are getting much more enlarged there. Udder is quite full. All right, you can see the bag here is quite full there, like I was saying. I'm not doing anything. Will you relax? Shot there. Okay, so you guys can see bag's getting full, nipples are dropping. Now this is her first pregnancy. And so before she was pregnant, you couldn't see her nipples at all. So those are for anybody just learning about goats. Those are the nipples right there. She didn't have any at all. I mean, she had them, but you couldn't see them, actively see them. And so they were way up in there, okay? Well, now that her udder or her bag is getting full, which she has a beautiful bag. This goat, it's not even completely full. She's only 2 years old, and it's a awesome looking bag. I cannot wait for her to continue to get older. It's gonna be a great looking one. Anyhow, probably an exquisite bag. Yes, it will be an exquisite bag. Yes, you gonna say hi to everybody? You're so sweet. I love you. Anyhow, back to talking about this bag here. And so she'll have a really good one. Now these are, oh yeah, look how, see how pretty that was? Beautiful bag. Let me move over here somewhere here. Oh, goodness. All right, there we go. Yeah, here, perfect. So anyhow, like I say, this is her first breeding, first pregnancy, and so she's doing quite well. You can see that the girl parts there have swollen up quite a bit, and they are going to continue to. Now they have these things called ligaments that run along the sides of the tail. I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute. But like I was saying beforehand, when the bag starts to drop, because those nipples were way up in there, okay, now the bag is full, the nipples have dropped, you can see them really, really well. And so with that being said, you know, she's definitely on her way to having some young. And so, hang on, squirrel. All right, guys, so that's not working out real good. So let's try to go over this. All right, so udder development. All right, so what I was trying to say and show you guys is udder development. So she's a first timer, and her nipples was way up high, and you couldn't even see that she had any nipples. And then as she's become pregnant, her udder has developed, okay? And this happens whenever they are pregnant, okay? So their udder does not develop or get full like it's getting until they are pregnant. Now, this is a sign that they are pregnant. It is not a sign that they're going to be having babies anytime soon. Now, you can, however, go by the size of the udder. And the udder will get so, especially on Nubians, will get so big, so full that it'll become shiny looking. It'll become very, very big, like as big as a basketball, right? And so she's not there yet. She's about halfway, okay? So that probably about 2 weeks out is what we're thinking, all right? Now, this being a first-timer, it could be a little bit different, all right? It could be. But I'm pretty sure that she's going to have a pretty large udder. And, hey, buddy, and it'll be really full and everything. And so that is what we're looking for. So about, 2 weeks or so, but be looking for the udder development. Look for that udder to start to fill the bag, okay, to start to fill the udders to drop. Yeah, I'll come get you. And everything to start working, all right, to get full, all right? That's what you're looking for. And then the fuller it gets, the closer you are, okay? Not that it's going to happen today or tomorrow, but the closer that you are. Now we're going to go into some other things. Give me 1 minute. All right, so now the next thing we want to go over is mucus plug, all right? Now the mucus plug can come a day, 2 days, even 2 weeks before they have their kids, all right? And so just be looking for a mucus plug. And the mucus plug, you'll see it, around their girl parts. All right, it'll be hanging there, or it'll be just right outside, maybe even sometimes on the udder, where it's kind of drooped down or something. And sometimes you even find it laying around in the hay, okay? But just be looking for it. And the mucus plug looks just like what it's called, a mucus plug. It looks like a big glob of snot, all right? And sometimes it can be green, and sometimes it can be even like a tint of brownish red. Okay, don't be alarmed by that. Everything's okay. But like I said, it's not also a very good indicator, because it could be 2 days, it could be 2 weeks before that doe has her young. All right, so you just want to be aware and know that the time is coming soon. Okay, when you see a mucus plug, and if you've counted your days properly, then you know if it's 2 days away from the day that you should be happening, then you're probably 2 days out from having that baby. All right. If not, if you didn't watch, then you could be as much as 2 weeks out. So just know that. All right. Then the next thing we want to move into is laying around. That is the next thing. Okay. And this can be, if you've got a doe that is laying around more than usual. Okay. Hit that thumbs up, y'all. Anyways, if you guys have got a doe that is laying around more than usual, she's laying around more than what she usually does, okay, then you want to start taking into consideration that maybe if it's paired with some other symptoms, that maybe possibly she is going into labor, okay? They start to nest, they start to lay around, they start to paw at the ground, all right, and they start to show these signs, all right, these rhythmic sounds, all right, that could be contractions, all right? So you want to kind of start watching for that if your doe starts laying around more than what she usually does. Now, it could be that she's just so uncomfortable and so big. She could have twins or triplets in there that are massive, okay? And if she does have that, you're going to want to watch and make sure that you are prepared. You have your bag prepared and ready to go. You got a stopwatch ready to go in case you need it, so that you guys can be prepared to get ready to help her if it's needed. But by all means, do not help her if it is not needed. And we're going to go over that here in just a minute. But laying around can be a sign and a symptom, if she has other ones, that she is getting ready to go or is in labor. Okay, guys, so the other sign of early labor would be coupled with laying around. If, like I've said already, she's pawing at the ground and making an active nest. She's actively trying to make a nest, wallering and trying to get something wallered out to where she can have her young, okay? That would be another early sign of early labor, coupled with a little bit of grunting sound, okay? And then it starts to pick up and progress as the day or the days go along, depending on, how much she's going into labor, all right? So we're going to talk about that next. Again, if you guys start to notice, rhythmic grunting, pawing at the ground, things like that, you may want to make sure that you check on that goat every 30 minutes to an hour, all right? Definitely don't let her go half a day without checking on her. Make sure you're keeping up on her, because those are signs that she's going into early labor. And if she's got that rhythmic grunting, she's probably pretty close, because you can't really tell the contractions, but the sound of a rhythmic grunting is part of it, right? So like, you might not be able to see her contracting, it's kind of hard to tell, but you definitely can hear the rhythmic grunting, so keep that in mind. And then, you want to make sure you stay close to home. Don't go anywhere unless you have to. Stay right close to home and be there ready to go. Have your bag, like I said, have your bag ready, your stopwatch ready. Let's get it going. Have that warm water and all that stuff ready to go, so you guys can be prepared to help her if big letter if, okay, she needs help. Okay, guys, so now it's time to talk about the ligaments, all right? Now, the ligaments, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, are one of the most telltale signs that your goat is getting ready to have its kids in a matter of 12 to 24 hours, all right? So, yes, you can look at all the other things. Yes, those are clues or signs, but the ligaments are a tell-all. So let's show you about the ligaments. Okay, so here is Flower, and I'm not going to touch her because she gets very, very antsy when you touch her. She's not been really full with a whole lot. I mean, we pet her, but we don't really touch her a lot. So, but right here, you can see her hip bones right here. See those hip bones right there? So between the hip bones and where the tail stops, all right? Not where the end of the tail is, but where the tail stops on the body, right here. This area right here, okay? There's a ligament in there, and that ligament is like a pencil. You can see my finger roll over it right there. You see that finger rolling over there? Okay? It's rolling over the ligament, all right? And it's about the size of a pencil, about the thickness of a pencil. And like I say, both sides have it, and you can see my finger rolling over that right now. All right, so what that does is as she gets closer to having the kids, they will soften. and they will become so soft that you cannot even feel them anymore. You'll be actively digging in between there, trying to feel that ligament. And like, if you don't feel it, it's getting ready to happen within the next 12 to 24 hours. I mean, with some very good assurity. All right, so that is something, that's something that everybody should be checking, not just at the end or towards the end of pregnancy with a goat, but you should be checking it actively the entire time she is pregnant. So the first signs that you notice that she's starting to bag up and that she did take, you need to start checking her ligaments. That way you get a feel for what the ligaments feel like early stage of pregnancy, mid stage of pregnancy, and end of pregnancy, okay? And especially those last few days. So for the next, from now until she kids out, because this is going to be our first kidding, from now until she kids out, every day I'm going to come down here and I'm going to feel those ligaments just so I know like how they feel. And I'm going to write that down in a journal. No change from this day to this day, no change from this day to this day. And then eventually when I do have change, I'm going to say, okay, well, this day there was change, and I'll write that change down, okay? And that will tell me the last 2 weeks or so, or however long it's going to be till she kids out, how long and how they're going to feel, how those ligaments will feel, and how long it's going to take, okay? That gives you a good estimate. Now, every goat is different, so every goat will be different. Some goats never bag up until they have the kids. Most goats will bag up, but there's goats that don't bag up until after they have kids. Then all of a sudden their bag swells up, their udder swells up, and boom, they've got milk, okay? It's just every goat's different. Just think of it like that. Every goat's different. No two goats are alike. There are some characteristics, but they all can be different. And so to talk to you about that ligament, though, that ligament is very, very important. So be sure you're going out there early pregnancy, mid-pregnancy, end of pregnancy. You're feeling that ligament. You're learning about that ligament. And if you're like me and this is your first time, write it down in a journal. Ligament felt like this. Ligament felt like that. This, on February the 5th, this is what the ligament felt like. February 5th or February 6th, it felt like this. February 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, it felt like this, and this. And that way you can go back and look at those notes. And then when she finally kids out, you'll say, okay, now I have a week or 2 weeks worth of data on her ligaments, and I know how she progresses, all right? And that will help you a lot going forward, all right? So anyhow, that's all about the ligaments there. And the other thing that will happen is her sides will sink in. You can kind of see they're kind of sunk in now. They depending on how much they eat during the day, they'll sink in and then they'll be bloated back out, and then they'll sink back in, they'll bloat back out. Goats are very funny like that, and you can see right here, she's got a little bit of a pocket right there right now, and he does not have a very much of a pocket. He's got a slight indentation, but not much of one, and she's got a pretty good one. Well, earlier today, it was plumb filled up, plumb full, was no nothing there. When she has her kids, when she goes to kid out, and they drop, all right, that indentation will become very, very noticeable, and it will not go away no matter what she eats. In fact, she probably won't eat much of anything that last 24 hours or so before she kids out. And so it's going to sink in pretty significantly there. The kids will have dropped into the birth canal, just like on a dog. When she goes to give birth, the puppies drop. She becomes very indented on the top and stuff. So that's another telltale sign that she is going to be having her kids very, very soon. All right, but be checking those ligaments. Those are a dead giveaway that something's about to happen in the next 24 to 12 hours, or 12 to 24 hours rather. Now let's talk about those last few hours that the goat has, the doe has, before she ends up giving birth. What are some of the telltale signs that you might go out there and see because you're making your checks and you see it and you're like, whoa, it's happening, and it's happening now. Let me grab my kit bag, let me grab my camera, and let's go watch all this action happen, right? So if you see streaming mucus, not a mucus plug, streaming mucus, a long stream of mucus coming out of her girl parts, all right, then you will know that she is actively getting ready to have a baby. If she has a water sac coming out of her, run and get the kid bag because it's happening right now. Make sure you grab that stopwatch too. I have a stopwatch right here so I can tell. 30 minutes. We're going to talk about the 30-minute rule here in just a second. But make sure you have your kid bag, make sure you got your stopwatch, and if you want to video it, make sure you got your camera. Now, like I said, streaming mucus, it's going to happen very, very soon. Water bag, it is happening, all right? Contractions, visible contractions, it's happening, all right? Now, visible contractions out of all these things are the least noticeable. Visible contractions are the least noticeable. Streaming mucus and a water sac coming out of the back end of her, that is very noticeable, okay? So you might not notice those contractions much, the visible contractions much, but you can see them, all right? So that is a telltale sign. So just know that if you see her visibly contracting, rhythmic grunting, and you know, something like that, all right? Kind of sound like Forrest Gump. I don't want to do it. Anyhow, goodness, I love that movie. Anyways, if you see that, it's happening. It's happening, Captain. All right, but if you don't see it, no biggie, okay? Start looking, though, for the streaming mucus and the water sac. That is a telltale sign. Now, with both things, the streaming and the bulging sac, the water sac coming out, you want to make sure you go and grab your bag quickly as possible because it's actively getting ready to go down. I'm getting peed on right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I guess he wants me out of here. Anyhow, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen very, very fast, okay? So you want to go on ahead and get in there and get that done. Hey, buddy, just relax, okay? I'm almost out of here. So, anyhow, go on here and get your bag and get ready to go, okay? Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do, I know, you want to be a movie star. Okay, hang on. All right, like I say, go get your bag, get ready, because if you see the streaming mucus or you have a bulging water sac coming out, it's getting ready to go down. Now, when you see those things, be sure to set your stopwatch immediately, okay? You want to set it for 30 minutes. Do not touch that doe for at least the 30-minute count, okay? That's why you got to have a stopwatch, because here's the thing. I know for a fact, watching puppies come out, that 5 minutes seems like 15, and 15 seems like 30, and 30 seems like an hour, okay? And the problem with that is if we get on there, you bite me in my chin, we're going to fight. If you get to where... We're not biting my beard, buddy. You know, I know that time flies, right? And but whenever something like this is going down, it seems like it's going forever. And it seems like 10 minutes took 30, right? And so what you want to make sure is that you did not touch the, let me position myself because he's acting like a butthead. So anyhow, you want to make sure that you don't intervene in that doe until it's time, okay? Because if you intervene before the 30 minutes, you could be... Will you go on? Go away. Let me get out of here. So anyhow, like I was saying, you want to make sure that you're counting the time, because if you don't count the time and you end up intervening way too early, you can end up causing a lot of issues that would not have normally have been there. I know that we want to help. I know it's our instincts to help, especially as homesteaders and farmers and whatever. But the truth of the matter is they can do a far better job than we could ever do, all right? It's nature. It's what they're born to do. It's what they do. It's what they've done for thousands of years, and it's what they'll continue to do for thousands of years more if the world makes it. So just let them be until the 30 minutes is up. Now, once that 30 minutes is up, you want to go on ahead and start helping them, all right? Here's how you can help them if you need to. I don't know why you've just decided to be a butthead today, but I really wish you'd knock it off. All right, guys, let's go ahead and finish wrapping up this video. Like I was saying, if you are over 30 minutes, all right, well, you don't want to really go over 30 minutes. You want to be at 30 minutes. If you've been at 30 minutes and you've timed it, you know that you're at 30 minutes and the kid has still not come out of the canal, then you're going to want to intervene. Some of the things that you're going to want to have on hand is in your little kid bag is going to be those suction things that, we use for babies. The little, they look like a little, almost like a miniature baster, but they're not. They're blue sometimes, most of the time. Like I say, they're in the nurseries all the time, at the hospitals where they're having babies, and you just push on it, and they sucks the snot out of the nasals and the airways in the mouth. You're going to want one of those. You're going to want some blankets, all right? You're going to want some KY jelly and some gloves so that you can put them on. You're also going to want alcohol so you can disinfect your hands and stuff. Sometimes you may have to take the gloves off, and you're going to have to disinfect your entire arm. All right, so you want to rub that down with alcohol real good. Dry it well. Do not put that up there with alcohol actively still on there. And dry it off really well. Make sure it's killed all the bad stuff on your arm. Grease it up real good with KY, and then go on ahead and go up there. But if you can, make sure that you use gloves first, all right? If you can't feel nothing with the gloves on, then you can go to the other option, all right, which is taking the glove off. But highly recommend using the gloves, all right? Gloves, you want them, at least, sometimes people wear gloves only up to, a little bit past the wrist, but if you can get them up to your elbow, all right? That way, if you got to get in there, you can. All right, so baby's stuck, not coming out, you disinfect yourself, you glove up, you lube up, you go in. You want to start filling for 2 hooves. You want to make sure those hooves, and it don't matter if it's breech or if it's coming out head first, all right? You want to fill the 2 hooves. You don't want a hoof going that way and another hoof going that way, all right? That would be bad, and it's hard to get that fixed, all right? But you can reposition them if you have to. That, though, I don't know much about, so you might want to watch another video. I know how to do it. I've seen it done, but I've not done it, so I wouldn't be one to really tell you how to do it, okay? I've been around goats having babies. This is our first kid here having them, but I've been around them having them, okay? So I've seen the process. I've seen what people have done in person, all right? So you got that going on, and you've come to that point where you're going to have to intervene. So disinfect, glove up, lube up, go in. Start filling for 2 hooves. If you can find 2 hooves, you're good to go. Gently start to bring that goat toward you, okay? That kid toward you, okay? Once you have gotten that kid out, all right, you're going to want to start checking it over. You're going to put it in the mom's face, all right? And if she starts, okay, sorry about that. If she starts making a lot of noise, speaking to the kid, that's a good sign. That's what you want to see. If she is not, keep offering her that kid over and over, putting it right in her face over and over again until she starts cleaning it and making a lot of noise, talking to it, okay, and accepting that as her kid, all right? Now, you've got that basis covered. Kids cleared in the airways, the nasals and all that stuff's clear. You're good to go. You have wiped it down good. You've dried it off. You've helped the mom out. Now, if it is the first kid, okay, let's say kid number 1, and you know that there's 2 or 3 in there, you are going to need to help with the rest. The reason why, and people can debate this all they want, the vets say that if you have helped with the first one, you will more than likely need to go on ahead and intervene for the next 1 or 2, whichever that there is in there. The reason being, she has spent 30 minutes actively trying to push this out, and it wasn't going to come out. She is stressed out. She is tired, and she's going to need help to get the others out. So go on ahead, reach back. You got goat kid number 1 took care of. Set it to the side. Go in there and start filling around for goat number 2. If goat number 2 is down there and ready to go on ahead and start to ease it out, all right? And so on and so forth with goat 3. And if there's a 4th one, then goat 4. All right, which is highly unlikely, but there could be, and there has been. So anyhow, you want to take care of that and make sure that you're doing the same thing with each goat. You're cleaning them up, you're offering them to mom's talking to them, all that. This is everything that you did with goat number 1, you're doing with goat number 2 and 3 and 4, however many. All right, now, once that's all taken care of, we, all right, meaning me and my family, we will take the goat kids away from the mother after a couple hours, all right? And the reason being is we raise them in the house on bottles because we use the milk. So we raise them on bottles. We do some other things, which we'll go all over all the things that we do in another video on how we raise our goats here on our homestead, okay? And this is the way that I was taught by the guy that I get my goats from, and he has won championships and everything with his goats. My goats are show goats. They're show Nubian goats. I can take these guys and show them off, all right? They come from show quality lines. So anyhow, and they're registered. So anyhow, if you guys want to learn more about that, by all means, we'll be having more videos on that. In fact, we got some videos on that already from a couple years ago when we fed Full Metal and his brother when we bottle fed them in the house. We got a little bit of info on that and how we done it and all that stuff. So anyhow, you can go check those videos out, but we'll have more on this one whenever she has them. So guys, I think that's pretty much all. I think I covered all the bases here on, you know, having a goat kid, the process, what you need to look for, the signs, the symptoms, and all that good stuff, and what you need to do if you end up having one that gets stuck. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and comment them down below. But guys, I hope this helps all of you who are getting ready to have your first time goats, because it's exciting. It's exciting, and I want to be successful. I want you guys to be successful. My mentor wanted me to be successful. So, you know, and he shared all this knowledge with me and told me exactly what's what. And I've been over there. I've seen it. I've helped, you know. So, yeah, I'm giving you guys some of the best information that I have from one of the best goat breeders for Nubian goats that I believe is on the East Coast. So you are more than welcome to comment down below anything that you would like to. You know, if you got any questions or comments, if I don't know the answer, I know he does. So, guys, we appreciate you watching. And as always, we'll see you next time. Where, kids?
In the hollers and hills.
West Virginia.
That's right, in the hollers and hills of West Virginia. See y'all.
Don't forget to smash that like button. That notification bell.
Don't get the dog.
Good job. Here you go. Thank you.
Don't get the dog.
Don't forget to share. Yep. There you go. Good job. And
And
subscribe.